Hello, welcome back everyone. Thank you so much, Brian, for your question about what should I eat in those days kind of leading up to my ballroom dance competition. I have previously posted a video on what most professional ballroom dancers eat, but this is a slightly different question. Yes, you are absolutely right. We do adjust what we eat slightly on those days preceding competition, okay? To maximize your athletic and intellectual potential, obviously we want to make glucose consumption optimal and hydration optimal. And frankly, the fluids are even more important than the food, guys. Now, sweat rates do vary widely per person, and set aside biology. How hot is the ballroom? What costuming am I wearing? How hard am I pushing? How many rounds am I doing? What is the lights situation? Sometimes those lights can be blaringly hot on you. In my experience, the good news is if you're a water drinker, if you're a coffee drinker, I actually wouldn't recommend cutting out coffee the day of the comp. I certainly don't recommend loading up on coffee. You don't want the jitters and whatnot, but consuming that regular amount of coffee, totally okay. That's what your body is used to, okay? The last thing you want to be doing is dragging booty mentally and even physically going onto that floor, okay? Now, you can sweat up to 1.4 liters per hour, guys, okay? That is 48 ounces of water, okay? That's up to 6 little bottles of water in an hour, okay? So most research indicates that you can only absorb 1 liter an hour. Okay, guys, so we have a deficit there of almost half a liter per hour of water if you're sweating to your max and drinking to your max. Okay, you do need to drink in advance. Okay, again, bear in mind, your body is going to possibly sweat out 6 bottles of water just in 1 hour of competing, and many of you do many more than that, okay? Now, according to Healthline, if you consume water with food, it will take 45 minutes to an hour for your body to actually kind of digest that water and get it into your system. So apparently on an empty stomach, it can take as little as 5 minutes up to 20 minutes, depends how much you're drinking. And certainly everyone's biology varies a little bit. So basically time your water intake accordingly. It's better to have to go to the bathroom a few extra times than I guarantee you will not be at your intellectual and physical maximum in those rounds if you are dehydrated. Okay, guys? My suggestion is to eat enough to fuel yourself, but not so much that your tummy is working really hard on that digestion, particularly while you are competing, okay? Now, not only will eating a large meal slow down how fast your body can absorb the fluids, but if you have a big full tummy, it actually diverts blood flow from your muscles to your tummy to digest that food. Now, on the upside, if you run out and do a comp round, your body will turn off that blood flow to digestion and divert it to your muscles. But then what's happening? You're not getting the glucose out of that food. And even worse, you're dancing around on an undigested stomach full of food. The last thing you want out there is to have gas or the runs or a stomach ache. That's not ideal. So save that big meal till after your rounds, okay, guys? And not that I'm a doctor, but apparently most marathoners do recommend carb loading, a few days before the comp. I've shared that me and most pro dancers I know really don't eat any sugar, but lots of vegetables. I don't know any pro dancers on that kind of Atkins high fat, no carb diet. But our carbs come in the form of like a lot of vegetables, things like this. Okay, guys. And most marathoners do recommend carb loading like 3 days prior to the event, because it does take that long for the nutrients to get from the food to actually turn into fat cells. It is going to be temporarily stored in your muscles and in your liver as more easily accessible glucose. And yes, I know glucose is a sugar, but if you eat fats, if you eat those kind of low carb vegetables, proteins, your body will convert that to glucose, which is what your muscles and your brain is going to use during those rounds. Okay, guys. And then, eat a light meal 3 to 4 hours before your events start, and then a light snack right before you go on the floor. Okay, guys. So again, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor, and certainly consult a doctor before doing anything crazy. I'm just sharing in my experience what most dancers do, and I'm just sharing some research. I have not pulled that out of my keister. This is stuff you can from public reputable websites. We're not talking about Wikipedia, where you can look at water and food absorption and things like this. Okay, guys. Now I do have, in addition to the fluids, a lot of suggestions about foods. So I am going to post a follow-up video on this tomorrow if you want to hear more about this topic, if you're more interested in what should I eat the day of the comp, the week prior to the comp, because that is a really helpful subject. And as a competitor, you want to hedge your bets and maximize every potential that you have. And certainly what we consume is a big part of that. So I will see you tomorrow. If you have some sort of special dietary fluid intake plan that you follow, I would love to hear that, and so would other viewers, because I am just one person. And thanks for joining me today, guys. If you like all things ballroom dance, hey, subscribe, hit that like button, and I look forward to seeing you in the morning. Bye, guys.